Alright, so we're back with the Mega Man 2 randomizer. We're gonna do a countdown real quick, but I'm going to let my co-commentator introduce the runner. We're gonna do a countdown and we'll explain the flags on the way.
Absolutely. We have Charlie Boy and Siberianbull, who are our runners. But for those of you that played Mega Man 2 as a kid, like I have, you're in for a little bit of a treat. You're going to find things a little bit different than the standard run. The first thing you're going to see is you don't get to see what stage you're going selecting. It's completely blind, I believe. So the stages are completely randomized.
Yep.
This means that you could pick Flashman stage first, which would be a fairly easy stage, or you might pick Crashman stage, which is the exact opposite of an easy stage to start with.
Yeah, exactly.
We might see a reset if that happens, if Crashman or Heatman show up. Better to save or lose 50 seconds than 5 minutes fighting over a difficult stage.
Alright, so we're gonna do a countdown and we're gonna explain the rest as we go. You guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Alright, so we start in 3, 2, 1, go!
Thank you.
Alright. So, we got Flashman on Charlie Boy's side. And Airman. This is bad.
Airman's a little rough. Airman is not as bad as you would think it was. I know you are an avid runner of the normal Mega Man 2.
Yeah.
But in the randomizer, you don't have to worry about the Lightning Lords showing up. So, it's a randomizer, so we have platforms like you're seeing now on the screen instead of a bunch of Light Lords.
Yeah, it does
so there
make
are
things much easier, yeah.
In some of the stages.
And also, we just need to point out that, as people can see, every enemies are randomized. And unlike the actual game, the Crushers are killable in this version.
Yeah, the logic of the randomizer has to give you something to start the game with. Now, I think you need... Now, you'll be able to help me out with this one.
Yep.
The weapon that you need for the Crushers, I do not remember in the vanilla game.
There's nothing, actually. As much as I know, there's nothing that can kill the Crushers in the vanilla game. I mean, you can freeze them with the flash.
We actually had Flashman at the end of Flashman stage.
Yeah, because it's worth pointing out that the weapons are also randomized. And so are the bosses.
Well, we see Quickman at the end of Airman's stage.
Which makes the boss a little bit easier because of the stage layout.
Oh, very much so. And it looks like Siberianbull has picked up item 1, which is something that will help him in other stages as he heads into Woodman's stage.
Yeah,
I believe
yeah,
that it's specific stages in the normal Mega Man 2 where you get the item 1, 2, and 3. In the randomizer, that is part of what is randomized. You could end up seeing Woodman have item 2 for all we know.
Yeah, and even if you get the item you're looking for, it might not behave the way you're expecting. because the patterns of every weapons and items are also randomized. So you can have an item 1 that is not going to move at all.
That is true. The one exception, I believe, is item 2, because that is necessary in the Wily 2 stage to cross the spikes.
Yeah.
So item 2 is the only item that is not randomized.
Yeah, exactly. Because we could see on Charlie Boy's screen earlier that the air weapon is not going the way it does in the regular game, the vanilla game. It goes way far. It goes way farther, and there's only 2 tornadoes instead of 3. This is only one of the differences. And this is not a good stage to fight.
You could
Petits.
have them shoot almost straight up. They can shoot straight out. They can do a combination of them. The speed of the shot is also randomized. Just like Siberianbull and his quick boomerangs. They normally boomerang back to the player, but these shoot downward and away from the player.
And you can correct me if I'm wrong about that, but I think the weapon energy consumed by every weapon is also randomized, right?
To a degree, yes. You're not going to have a metal blade that, oh, I used twice and I'm done.
Yeah.
Again, a little bit of a spoiler, but when you get to Dr. Wily, it's got to give you enough ammunition to be able to defeat Dr. Wily.
Yeah, of course.
On 1 bar, because you can't refill your weapon energy.
Yeah, exactly. And the same goes for the blue beams in purple hell stage, which might not be purple in this one.
Well, you never know. The colors of the stages are randomized, as we see Siberianbull in one of my unfavorite stages.
I think nobody likes this stage. Especially when the enemies are randomized, 8-man stage can be brutal.
Oh, very much so. And it looks like Siberianbull's actually going to use his item 1 to help him navigate the stage instead of try to fight with the Yoku blocks, which is a very good strategy to use. So we're gonna... No, unfortunately, no item 2, so Siberianbull gonna have to jump on the Yoku block, so let's see how good he's got his timing down for these.
Yeah, I feel like people running
to the end of the Airman stage visiting Flashman.
I feel like people running the randomizer must remember the Yoku block section way more than an actual Mega Man 2 speedrunner.
Oh, very much so. If you don't have item 2, which in the randomizer could be locked behind Petman stage, you just kind of have to, proverbially speaking, bite the bullet and take the Yoku blocks.
Yes, something nobody ever wants to do.
I can see where you're coming, and here we go. Item 2 locked behind Heatman stage, as Siberianbull has shown us.
Yeah, I think he got all 3 items already, right?
I believe he does not have item 3.
Oh, okay. Maybe I saw that on Charlie Boy's side and I got confused. I just want to say that...
Oh, it's...
with these colors...
lose track of who has what.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Oh, Charlie Boy's setting up a zip here, so he will basically bypass a good part of the Woodman stage. This is what we call the Goodwood zip, for those of you that may not know exactly what's going on with Charlie Boy.
Yep.
He's going to deposit himself into an invisible pit and get to the checkpoint right before the boss.
Yeah, you need to know the stage layout a lot to do that kind of glitch. Because the screen you see is not the screen where you're at. And also, I just want to point
Now,
out
one
that
thing
with
to
this color
contrast-
palette, Bobbleman stage looks creepy.
Yeah, not quite the water that you want to see. But one thing to contrast between the runners is that Siberian Bull did not choose to use the zip in either Woodman or Bubbleman stage. You know, when you go for a zip, it's kind of risk versus reward. You can mess the zip up, and it may go so far as to soft lock the game on you.
Oh yeah. You don't want that to happen, especially in a race. Another thing that people
No,
probably already
absolutely not.
noticed. Yeah, go ahead.
The first tournament was actually decided in the finals by somebody soft locking the game by messing up. Well, I shouldn't say messing up a zip, but the zip got messed up on them. One of the enemies are the fan fiends, and they will mess up a zip if you happen to come across them.
Oh. This is kind of a bad way to end a tournament, but these things can happen.
Well, you just have no idea what enemy is going to be in the next screen.
Yeah.
And, you know, luck was not on their side. The Fan Fiend stopped the zip because it stopped all of his forward momentum.
Yeah, and right now on the Siberian Bull side, the bunny was kind of in the way, and the problem is, in this particular seed, the metal blade is not working on those bunnies. So there was no way he could kill it before going up the ladder, so he set up kind of a... kind of a small zip in the ladder where if you exit the screen and grab a ladder on the next screen, holding the down button, and then you press up while the screen loads, it's gonna push you up a little bit, and that was just enough for Siberian Bull to be able to get up the ladder before the bunny actually jumps over. And
now, this
he's
is
doing
kind
it again.
of unfortunate because he's going to have to set up a little mini zip to get himself on top of the ladder.
Yeah.
So he doesn't get knocked off of it. So that's why Siberian Bull had to go down and take the elevator ride of shame, as it were. Now, we will get to see how Charlie Boy approaches the situation. I think he will set up a zip in this section by using item 1. And, yep, looks like he got it. So he will skip the elevator section.
Yep. This is kind of interesting because we can see both versions of the run right now. Because Charlie Boy seems to be going for every
Charlie
single
Boy
zip.
with this. Well, and
Yeah,
so
I
far
didn't
he's
get to.
executing on them as well, which can give you a significant time advantage over someone who either does not or cannot pull off a zip.
I was gonna say I didn't get to do it
Just
in 2019.
the way
but I
it
did
is.
Run live, so I'm doing it now.
Yeah, because I think
don't know if,
you got the
Charlie Boy's
item really
audio
far
came
into
through.
the run, right?
Yeah, the last 3 stages in the 2019 run when I was running for NoReset.
Yeah, I remember
picked
that.
up the items, yeah.
Because even if you know
Oh,
how to
no.
do every zips, if you don't get the item, you just cannot perform them.
Yeah, that's quite true. If you don't have, you know, the requisite item 1 or item 3 to be able to set up a zip in most cases, you know, well,
Yeah.
not much you can do.
I think the only zip you can perform without any item is in Bobbleman stage, right?
Correct.
Correct.
And even then, you need to pulse buffer a lot, and this glitch doesn't save that much time.
would disagree, just because having to go through... Well, actually, you're right, because the movement speed seemed to be increased a little bit with this new version of the randomizer. The last tournament was version 0.5, and this is 0.6. So that Bubble Man zip may actually be less of a time save. Because Siberian Bull went through fairly easily. So we'll see if Charlie Boy goes for the zip to skip this next section. And it looks like he's going to pause buffer and shoot himself off to the right.
Yeah,
now, what Charlie Boy is doing...
kills the lag frames on the water faster.
Oh yeah, you're moving way faster than what I remember from previous versions in the water, Charlie Boy.
Yes, sir.
So it's mostly quality of life to avoid booping the spikes for that zip at this point, it looks like.
I mean, quality of life is one of the things that is fun with most randomizer, because a lot of them aim toward that. I mean, just the quick transition at the end of a stage after the boss fight also falls into quality of life category. And the really
like
the fast
Siberian
text,
Bull looking for an item. I'm sorry, with the Siberian Bull looking for his weapons, you get a little bit of information to use in the boss refights later on. Sorry to cut you off with that, as Charlie Boy's going for another zip in the beginning of the Heatman stage.
Yep. And yeah, and I was about to say, unlike Siberian Bull, Charlie Boy could go for the item 2 in the Yoku block section if he needs to.
Well, item 2 is locked behind Heatman, so...
Oh, he is? I thought he already had this.
He wouldn't have item 2. He has 1 and 3.
See, this is why I'm not commentating that alone.
That's alright. You know, it's all these little things, because you get it in the back of your head that I think it's Airman, Heatman, and...
Flash.
Woodman in the vanilla games?
Flashman.
Flashman, okay. And I believe Charlie Boy went through Flashman's stage already. With the blind stage select, it's a little difficult to remember which runner has gone through which stage so far.
Yeah, it is.
Both of them have gone through Airman, both have gone through Woodman.
Yeah,
Ooh, Siberian Bull finding out the crash bomb weakness, or excuse me, the crash wall weakness.
PV pace?
That's the fun thing with Mega Man 2 Randomizer. We don't really see who's ahead before we get to Wily, and so right now Charlie Boy is a little bit in the lead.
Yeah, that's really the one checkpoint. Charlie Boy is going into the Wily 1 stage, being confronted with the best eyebrows in gaming, and Siberian Bull, unfortunately, still has a stage ahead of him in Metal Man. So a little bit of catching up to do, although there's plenty of spots for the run to balance itself out. The Wily stages are far more unforgiving, so if you make a mistake, that can balance the playing field very quickly between the two runners.
And the dragon can be treacherous because you don't know the weakness, and if you do one false move, you can die really fast, and if you do die at the dragon, this is a big time waste.
Yeah, that's the myth I was talking about. I mean, you could almost lose close to 2 minutes with some of the enemy sets, but it looks like we're getting so not the worst enemies to have for the Wily 1 climb.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Those enemies are just completely useless.
Yeah, they're just there to kind of say hi, move along, have a nice day.
Another thing that can make a big difference when you get to the refight is the information you gather throughout the first stages. Because if you get into the refight knowing like 5 out of 8 weaknesses, you can get through way faster than your opponent if he doesn't.
The thing I wasn't able to quantify, since the randomizer is generally run on easy mode, the Buster is effective against all of the enemies at 2 ticks, and for 4 of the bosses, it'll do 4 points of damage.
So this is the part you were talking about.
With Buster.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the part you were talking about earlier, where you need the item 2 to behave the way it's supposed to.
Yes, that is correct. To my knowledge, there is no other way to actually traverse that section of the game.
Besides damage boosting on one of the enemy.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you could technically
I
damage
guess
boost
you could,
with one of the
like,
enemies.
damage boost in item 1 can get you into the wall to zip across.
Yeah.
But that seems extremely risky.
It is.
And forcing that onto a player's cruel.
Yeah.
If you don't mind my saying so.
Oh, you're completely right. No swag jump. I'm disappointed.
I was about ready to say that Charlie Boy was ahead and try to goad him into trying the swag drop to fit himself in between the block on the right side of the ladder.
Yeah, but once again, this is a very risky maneuver, and you will waste a lot of time if you die there.
Oh,
I'm still disappointed, but I understand.
Another spot where you can lose a whole bunch of time. Get set back halfway through the stage because there's no boss door checkpoint. It's back to the middle stage checkpoint. Like Charlie Boy is finished off the Picotan blocks and is on to Wily 3. Siberian Bull up against the dragon. And it looks like just going with the Buster on the dragon, so...
Yeah, both did.
Pretty easy and straight dragon.
Yeah, I feel like both runners are on a pretty good pace right now.
And usually I have the benefit of seeing a timer, but I forgot to start my stopwatch, so...
I can tell you. We're at 22 minutes now.
Okay, yeah, they're doing pretty good then. The average time I would say to get to Wily 1 is somewhere around 18 minutes.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
And it takes about 2 to 3 minutes for a stage in the Wily section. Aside from Wily 3, that's kind of like a minute-long ad break.
Yeah. Is stage 4 as bad in the randomizer as it is in the actual game?
Is it as bad? It's worse. Totally worse.
I mean, the boss cannot be much worse because the weakness is also randomized.
It's not necessarily the boss, it's the enemy sets. Pretty rough.
Okay. Gotcha.
Right now it's being pretty nice.
Sometimes you get, an easy one, and Siberian Bull checking for an effective weapon to use finding the bubble lead. 2 shots to take down each one of the blocks, so this will go fairly by the book for Siberian Bull to get through to Wily 3 stage. Charlie Boy into Wily 4, about to hit what we call the Great Equalizer, the panic rooms. These elevator boards have found a couple nicknames over the years. This next room for Charlie Boy is the Great Equalizer. If you get a bad item, or excuse me, well, a bad item will do it too, but a bad creature set, which unfortunately we don't see. So this should be fairly free for Charlie Boy to get through.
Well, unfortunately for our viewers, not for our runners.
Hey, I root for the viewers.
Oh, so do I.
Because we're doing this all for them.
There are many more viewers than runners.
And Charlie Boy's got to be careful here with this depth. He can over-zip it.
Yeah, and if he does, it's a soft block, right?
Caught one of the good weaknesses.
Yeah, if I do, it's a soft block. Well, no, not necessarily. It depends on where I overzip. If I overzip in the boss room, then technically it's a soft block, but you can die from beams. If I overzip outside the boss room, I can walk all the way back to the left and wreck the screen. It takes a lot of time, but at least you can have the soft block to do it. However, if you are out of flash and you need to back up in that hallway, it's really a soft block.
Alright, so Charlie Boy's into the refights. I believe he used the Buster to defeat all of the weapons. So this is not looking good from a win-loss perspective for Siberian Bull. Just starting into Wily 4. And Charlie Boy using liberally his E-tanks that he's stored up to power his way through the boss refights.
Yeah, this is one way to approach
Siberian
the
Bull navigating the...
Yeah, sorry.
Now, one thing I forgot to point out is that the pits in the beginning of Wily 4 stage that Siberian Bull has just gone through, their locations are randomized.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Well,
so,
the runners have kind of figured out the way to navigate that section that kind of minimizes the risk. In the first area, well, it's not too big of a problem, because you just fall down to the area below, you use item 1, you use item 3, climb yourself back up. But there is a way to jump through the second one where the spike trap is to guarantee that you cannot fall down.
Oh, I see.
Since it's a 1 block wide area, if you jump where you're in between blocks at all times, you're either going to have your left or right foot on a block and you can't fall down.
So Charlie Boy coming up on the Wily machine right now, and also just to point out, the creator of the randomizer did put a few weapon energies in the Wily machine because you could potentially, well, get kind of screwed, because if both phases needs the same weapon, you can run out of energy.
Oh, very much so. It's a 50-50 coin flip on if the Wily machine itself is going to be vulnerable to the standard Buster shot.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for the runners, or actually not unfortunately for the runners, we got one that was vulnerable to the Buster. I apologize to all of you that are watching, but unfortunately this seed has been pretty quick and not too painful for the runners to get through.
All right. So Charlie
And
Boy's.
Charlie Boy's got...
Oh, good weakness for Wily too.
Oh, he found
And
it straight away.
time for Charlie Boy.
Wow. That is
Yeah, well done to Charlie Boy.
That's a 1 minute and 52 second PB.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Okay,
my
so you were on
first
a good
sub
pace.
30. That was my first sub 30. You know, that's like, bro. And not only did I go sub 30, I skipped them. Wow, it's crazy. Good stuff. GG.
What was the final time?
From my personal timer, 28:28.
28:32 on my end.
Wow. Well, great job.
Wow.
This
That
is like
is
2 minutes
super
faster
fast
than my
time.
PB on the actual game.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, actually, it's not your first sub 30. It's also your first sub 29.
Yeah.
Skip the 20. Skip 30 altogether.
I did. Yeah, I've been on this pace quite a few times, but yeah, never executed. I'm kind of sad I didn't get to do it Proto Man, but hey, I'm happy that I got to do it in a marathon. So,
There you go.
I will say, yeah, some of the changes, like the underwater. So Capcom in the code in Mega Man 2 had actually intentionally added lag frames. The community, well, Duckfist originally created the randomizer. However, the community, he made it open source, and he kind of said, hey, you know, I'm kind of done working on it for now, or whatever. If anybody wants to take it over. So big shout outs to Squidman, Daggett, and Matt Ewalker, because those three have been doing a lot of work. For instance, removing lag frames for the fast refills, the fast boss charge, the fast boss health fill up, the quick refills on the weapons and item drops, and then the reduce the flashing. I don't know if you guys know this. It's like say dragon or wild machine. It doesn't flash as bright like for say photosynthesis warning or seizure warning. You know. So yeah, those are just a few changes. And those guys have worked on. They've also added like more stories to the beginning and more companies that the seed could be randomized into instead of the handful that Duckfist added. So yeah, that's really good stuff.
Alright. So Siberianbull is coming up to the final boss, so it's gonna be time on his side soon. And he got the weapon, the weakness right away. So there you go, and time.
31:36.
GG's Bull.
Oh wow, well done for Siberianbull. Let's get those GGs in the chats for both the runners. It looks like the zips have prevailed over the zipless in this run today.
Yeah, but really good time for both runners, I gotta say.
What was my final time there?
31:36.
Yeah, it's PB for me too.
Oh,
Nice! GG's
Nice.
Bull.
Double
You get-
PB.
you get peanut
Double
butter.
PB.
You get peanut butter. You get peanut butter.
Yeah! No slow pokes around here, baby.
Alright, so before I leave the mic to our host who's gonna read a few donations, I just want to say thank you Charlie Boy, thank you Siberianbull, and thank you Frico for commentating. I had a blast watching that.
Yeah, thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, it was good times.
Well, thank you, all of you, for being here with us today. It was an absolute blast, and you know, don't be strangers. Stick around and chat, and make sure to submit more awesome Mega Man Randomizer content in the future, because we would be more than happy to have y'all back.
Oh, can I plug the tournament real quick? I guess
Yeah,
I
sure,
can.
go ahead.
Hey guys, please, we are having a tournament on this game next month. So if you haven't, if you you're interested. There's still like a month, or like half a month, I guess. Actually, technically, I guess it's a month, but still. Come watch and come hang out. Play some Mega Man 2 Randomizer with us. Find us. See us in the Discord. We'll see you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Alright everyone, stick around because coming up next we have Mega Man 7 80% on the SNES with Max Ketchums. This is also going to be, I think, personally, it's one of the more underrated Mega Man games. Mega Man 7 is a really, really good Mega Man game. Personally, and I know that's, debatable for some people, but it's going to be, regardless of your personal opinion of the game, it's going to be an amazing run, so you don't want to miss that. We're going to go on a quick break, get everything ready and set up for Mega Man 7, and we'll be right back, so stay tuned.